So let's talk about the different types of cloud computing. So there are multiple, but here we are just focusing on a three part. One is SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, right? So what are these things like? What is infrastructure as services? So if we compare with the older, means previous days, then infrastructure, we can say that it can be a router and switches. It can be a firewall. It can be physical infrastructure or VM or security or load balancer like hardware load balancer or clustering or storage. So these are the infrastructure which we will get as part of a service over the internet, right? So these are the infrastructure which we will be getting as part of a service HTTP. So we don't need to manage all these infrastructure within, just we can log in into the portal. Maybe I will discuss on like what are the different ways through which we can create a different kind of infrastructure. So these are uh, these are like infrastructure as service. A very good example of infrastructure as service like VM, virtual machines, where we can uh, run our code, we can build, we can run, we can deploy it, right? So infrastructure as service is a very basic category of any cloud computing services, right?
Just one question. Don't you think
Completely.
that if I think about the database data perspective, so don't
Okay.
you think that our data is in cloud provider hand? So it is a security issue,
Sorry, data is with cloud provider. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
So
now our data, private data or any kind of data is in their
okay.
hand.
Hmm.
So they can utilize or they can do anything.
Yeah, but it's kind of a, you will be having the security in place, right? No one can, and there will be a different kind of agreement, right? Whenever you are going with any cloud provider, then definitely there would be some agreement so that they cannot leverage those data, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
let's, yeah.
just to add to that, sorry,
Mhm.
Sandeep.
Yeah.
So Ramashankar, I think so. The way companies ensure that the data is safe. So one is they have NDA agreements with the cloud providers that you can't disclose the data to anyone, and also at the same time you can't use that, right? However, that being said, there are security measures as well that these cloud providers ensure that your data is safe and it does not leak, as Sandeep mentioned, and it does not go out of the system, right? So all those things are in place, right? And if you look at I'm not sure which company do you work with, but even the customers data, right? So if you look at customers data, some companies, they have agreement on that as well, that we won't be using customer data for any other purpose, right? So for example, Flipkart says that we won't be using any data to sell it to other third parties, right? So as Sandeep mentioned, it's more about the agreements
Trust,
and
trust and agreement.
trust,
Yeah.
right? And in case someone is not following that trust, then he's not following the legal guidelines,
Correct.
right? In that sense.
Like there are a lot of compliance thing, like maybe if you'd have heard about PCI DSS compliance. So a lot of compliance, lot of certification will be there if let's say if there is any secure data, like if user data is there. So for that there are a lot of rules and regulation which they cannot violate, right? Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So now we'll talk about the PaaS, right? So what exactly the platform as service means. So what cloud providers trying to do, that they are giving you a platform as a service. Platform as a service, it means platform is also available over the web, over the internet. You don't need to, it means platform where you can build your application, you can run your application, and you can deploy your application, right? So there are multiple platform which is being provided as service by the cloud providers, right? One of the very good example of Azure web services or app services or mobile services. So these are the PaaS which we can leverage it as a platform. Okay. So these PaaS model, they provide you an environment. They provide you an environment for building and testing your application, so that you don't need to worry about a platform readiness, right? you just focus on your logic. Your platform is ready, your tools are ready, you just need to write your logic, and you test it and deploy it. So that's it. So that's about PaaS. So let's talk about the SaaS. So this is also a very important types of cloud computing, and which is a software as service. It's a method of software delivery, right? And that allows data to be accessed from any device. Maybe it may be a mobile, or it may be a laptop, or any channel, maybe a web channel or mobile channel, right? So it can be available over the internet. And very good example is, like, let's say I'm talking about the Gmail or Facebook. So that's a SaaS, right? That's a software as service. Anyone can use it over the phone, or anyone can use it over the laptop. So this is a Gmail or Facebook, or I think most of us might be using a Microsoft Office or Office 365. So that's also one of the very good example of SaaS, software as service. Okay.